जी नाज़म जावेद रफ़ी, बड़े अरसे बाद बारी आई है तुम्हारी। कद रुक गया बढ़ना के बढ़ रहा है अभी?
रुक गया है।
कितना हो गया? 6 फुट 3 इंच?
जी जी
हाँ
जी।
बड़ा ज़्यादा लगाया मैंने।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम। कलाम हज़रत मसीह मौद अलैहिस्सलातु वस्सलाम। इस्लाम से न भागो, राहे खुदा यही है। इस्लाम से न भागो, राहे खुदा यही है। ऐ सोने वालों जागो, शम्सो ज़ुहा यही है। ऐ सोने वालों जागो, शम्सो ज़ुहा यही है। इस्लाम से न भागो, राहे खुदा यही है। मुझको कसम खुदा की जिसने हमें बनाया, मुझको कसम खुदा की जिसने हमें बनाया। अब आसमां के नीचे, अब आसमां के नीचे दीने खुदा यही है। इस्लाम से न भागो, राहे खुदा यही है। वो दिल सिता निहा है, किस राह से उसको देखें। वो दिल सिता निहा है, किस राह से उसको देखें। इन मुश्किलों का यारो, इन मुश्किलों का यारो, मुश्किल कुशा यही है। इस्लाम से न भागो, राहे खुदा यही है। बातिन सियाह हैं जिनके, इस दी से हैं वो मुनकिर। बातिन सियाह हैं जिनके, इस दी से हैं वो मुनकिर। पर ए अंधेरे वालों, पर ए अंधेरे वालों, दिल का दिया यही है। इस्लाम से न भागो, दुनिया के सब दुकानें हैं हमने देखी भाली। दुनिया की सब दुकानें हैं हमने देखी भाली। आखिर हुआ ये साबित, आखिर हुआ ये साबित, दारुशिफा यही है। इस्लाम से न भागो, राहे खुदा यही है। सब खुश्क हो गए हैं जितने थे बाग पहले, सब खुश्क हो गए हैं जितने थे बाग पहले हर तरफ मैंने देखा, हर तरफ मैंने
तरफ को तरफ कर दो,
हर तरफ मैंने
तरफ
हर तरफ मैंने देखा, बुस्तां हरा यही है, इस्लाम से न भागो, राहे खुदा यही है। दुनिया में इसका सानी कोई नहीं है शरबत, दुनिया में इसका सानी कोई नहीं है शरबत, पी लो तुम इसको यारो, पी लो तुम इसको यारो, पी लो तुम इसको यारो, आबे बका यही है, इस्लाम से न भागो, राहे खुदा यही है। ऐ सोने वालों जागो, शम्सु ज़ुहा यही है, ऐ सोने वालों जागो, शम्सु ज़ुहा यही है।
जी अब्दुल राफी साहब, कमरान के साहिब, तुमने कहाँ से रिसर्च करके आए हो? कहीं से?
जी।
कहाँ से?
बुक्स में से भी किया था और इंटरनेट से भी।
बस
जी।
अच्छा।
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम।
देखे नहीं? खुद नहीं देखे डेड सी स्क्रॉल?
जी।
खुद नहीं देखे?
नहीं, वो जेरूसलम में हिब्रू यूनिवर्सिटीज़ में।
तो चले जाना था वहाँ। चलो।
Today, the topic that I have researched upon is the discovery and importance of the Dead Sea Scrolls. The Dead Sea Scrolls provide a wealth of information on the early times of Judaism and also origins of Christianity. Moreover, they have provided Old Testament manuscripts approximately 1,000 years older than our previous oldest manuscripts. The Dead Sea Scrolls have demonstrated that the Old Testament was accurately transmitted during this interval. On the other hand, research shows that the scrolls did not produce a historical Joshua or Jesus Messiah living in Palestine during the 1st century AD. Instead, it mentioned about the Messiah who was seen as a leader of the future, born in the lineage of the famous King David, to establish a new world where the will of God will reign. His role will be of a prince leading forces of light through the darkness of the devil. It is still uncertain as to whom this is referred to. The history of the sect and the development of its ideas are still unknown. However, some details about its founder are known from documents. He is known as the teacher of righteousness and figures both as a spiritual leader who guides his followers in the path of the truth and as the social leader who contends with the ruler of Judah, the wicked priest. The Damascus document states that before the advent of the teacher of righteousness, there existed a group whose members were for 20 years like blind men groping their way at noon, until God raised for them the teachers to guide them in the way of his heart. This amazing discovery began in 1947. However, later in 1991, access was given to the photographs of the Dead Sea texts and the process of publishing and publicizing these important documents. This long delay was due to the attitudes and conflicts among the scholars appointed to study them. One of the research groups became possessive of these scrolls and secretive about them, which therefore caused a really long delay. It is known that observers claimed that the research team was more interested in improving their careers rather than sharing the information openly. It all began when a young boy named Muhammad went to gather his goats from high in the cliffs at the northwestern end of the Dead Sea. He saw two small openings to one of the caves that dot those barren cliffs overlooking the northwestern shore of the Dead Sea. He heard cracking noises after throwing a rock into one of those caves and called his cousin Khalil to come and have a look at what could be inside. As the day was beginning to get darker, they decided to return home and come back the next morning. The youngest of the three, Muhammad, rose the next day before his two fellow cousins and made his way to the cave. The cave floor was covered with broken pottery. Along the wall stood a number of narrow jars, some with their bowl-shaped covers still in place. Frantically, Muhammad began to explore inside the jars in search for gold, but found only a few bundles wrapped in cloth and greenish in age. Returning to his cousins, he related the sad news of no treasure. There were 7 scrolls removed that day from the caves and are known as the greatest manuscript treasure ever found. The scrolls appear to be in the library of a Jewish sect. Some say the library was hidden away in the caves around the outbreak of the first Jewish revolt between 66 and 70 AD, as the Roman army advanced against the rebel Jews. After discovering all of the scrolls, they finally came together at a Hebrew university under another strange set of circumstances. The 4 that were sold for a very small amount to Samuel Syrian Orthodox Metropolitan at St. Mark's Monastery in Old City of Jerusalem, who placed an ad in the Wall Street Journal due to no interested buyer. By coincidence, Yigan Yaudin, a lecturer, happened to be lecturing in New York and saw the advertisement. He was able to purchase these scrolls for around $250,000. In February of 1955, the Prime Minister of Israel announced that the State of Israel had purchased the scrolls, and all 7 were to be housed in a special museum at a Hebrew university named the Shrine of the Book, where they can be seen today. According to a museum in Jerusalem, the book named The Dead Sea Scrolls, The Untold Story, tells us that some of these scrolls are to be a complete book of the prophet Isaiah, written by the hand of an ancient Jewish scribe more than 2,000 years ago. Other prophets are also mentioned, such as Psalms, Hosea, Nahum, and Habakkuk. About 2,000 years elapsed between the time the scrolls were deposited in the caves of the barren hills and the discovery in 1947. The fact that they survived for 20 centuries, that they were found accidentally by a young shepherds, that they are the largest and oldest body of manuscripts relating to the Bible and the time of Jesus of Nazareth. This makes them a truly remarkable archaeological find. The Dead Sea Scrolls have been the subject of avid interest and curiosity for nearly 50 years now. Today, scholars agree on their significance, but disagree on who produced them. They debate specific passages of individual scrolls and are still assessing their impact on the foundations of Judaism and Christianity.